Brian here from Godley Signs and Decals. I want to show you just how easy it is to apply your wall decal to your wall. You're going to need the squeegee applicator that comes with every order. You're going to need some masking tape or some painter's tape. You'll need some scissors, something to measure with, like a tape measure or a straight edge ruler. You might need a level as well, a pencil. You're also going to need a spray bottle with some water, some rubbing alcohol, and or a little drop of dish soap, just enough to break the surface tension, and of course a rag to clean your wall. So we're just going to spray the area with our solution from the spray bottle. We'll wipe that area down with cloth. Dry that off really well. Now while that's drying, let's take a look at the decal. I'm going to open up the box, and inside you'll find your decal order, an instruction sheet, and an applicator tool that we will supply for you. It's best to take the decal out a little ahead of time and let it do some R&R, rest and relax, or just lay it upside down, let it flatten out, make it easier to apply. I want to show you what the decal will look like. It's made up of 3 layers. The top layer here is the transfer tape. Inside is the actual vinyl decal, and the backing here is backing paper. That's the 3rd layer. So you got 3 layers there. What you want to do is make sure that this is applied, the decal is stuck to the transfer tape. So you're going to take your squeegee tool and you're going to just go over this from the center out with some good pressure on a flat surface to make sure that your decal is stuck to the transfer tape and not the backing paper. One other thing I want to note here is the decal may have the transfer tape or some masking tape wrapped around the corner, and here's how you deal with that. Take your scissors, and if it's close to the design like it is here, you just cut along the edge. And then you can take this part and remove the part from the backing paper, and then that frees up your transfer tape. Now that the wall is dry, we want to apply our decal to the location we want it. I want to mention that this is not a freshly painted wall. This has been painted several months ago. You don't want to apply to a freshly painted wall, say within about 3 weeks, because as the paint dries, it's going to off-gas some things, and that's going to affect how your decal sticks to the wall, and it may actually fall right off as the paint dries over the first 3 weeks. So at least 3 weeks after you've painted your wall before you apply your decal. We're going to take the masking tape and we're going to tear off a couple of really short tabs, about 1 inch long here, and we're going to apply them to the edge right here. Anywhere on that edge, and we're going to eyeball it. I want it centered between the doors, and I want it about eye level in the center of the design. So I'm going to eyeball that to where I want it, right about there. I'm going to measure that now from the fixed objects. And then I'm going to measure the height to make it level. I'm going to use this line, which is in the design. If there is no line in your design, you can use the flat bottoms of the letters anywhere on the design. So it's level and it's centered where I want it. I'm going to take my masking tape. I'm going to tear off a piece about the width of the design. And I'm going to apply it on the top. And stick that to the wall, and we're going to use that as a hinge. We're done with these now. We can pull them off. Now that it's hinged on the wall, Again, I'm going to take my applicator tool, my squeegee, and I'm going to, one more time before I apply it, I'm going to just some pressure from the center out, just to make sure that that design is stuck to the transfer paper and not to the backing paper. Okay, so we have our design hinged here, and we push it up so it's flat against the wall, and I'm going to peel up a corner of this backing paper, and I'm going to start peeling the backing paper off. What I want to do is I want to peel it straight back against the wall. I keep my hand against the wall and I peel it back, and I watch to make sure the design stays on this transfer paper and not on the backing paper. But if you do run into that, all you do is just push down on it wherever it's sticking, and then continue to roll up. Just a little extra pressure on that should make it stick to the transfer paper. You want to make sure you're not touching where the design is, but you're going to have to hold that up. And just continue to peel it off, watching the design very carefully. This one's working really well. As it comes off. And then you want to take the backing paper and discard it. Make sure that your design doesn't touch the wall. And we're going to take our design and use that hinge and hold it out from the wall. Now we're going to take our applicator tool, and starting from the hinge in the center, I'm going to begin to press the design on. And as I go down, I want to work my way out from the center to the edges. Now that I've got the entire design pressed on the wall, I don't need this hinge anymore. So I can remove it. Now I want to just go over it one more time with this squeegee, again starting from the center, working my way out, just making sure that that design is stuck to the wall. I begin to peel the transfer paper back, and I pull it back against itself, just the way I did with the backing paper. Pull it back, keeping my hand rested against the wall, and pull the transfer paper back against itself. And as I go, of course there's going to be more and more pressure here, so I can just fold this down to give it more strength as I pull it back. And I carefully pull it back and continue to watch to make sure the vinyl decal is sticking to the wall and not to the transfer paper. Again, if that happens, if it begins to stick, you'll see it start to pull up. Just stop, go back, and push it back from underneath. Rub it really hard. You can even use your squeegee tool again, and then start again, just watching the area that wasn't stuck before. It's stuck now. So you can see how important it is to go slowly and to watch very carefully as you're peeling this transfer paper off, to make sure that your design stays on the wall. And that's the end of that. So now I peel that off. Take a good look at it now, just to make sure that it's all stuck down properly. If you have a spot that isn't stuck down, there might be an air bubble, you can take a pin, you can poke the air bubble in the center so the air goes out. Take a cloth, wrap it around your squeegee tool like this, and you can use that to press it on. Make sure everything's pressed on there properly. Okay, so the center of this A was not taken out, so I'm just going to take this pin and lift it out. You can see it just comes right off, and there's no damage to the wall. Now your design is applied properly and looks great. So there's our design, successfully applied to the wall. Remember, at Godley Signs and Decals, we have a "you can do this" guarantee. We know you can apply a decal to a wall successfully. We guarantee it. If you have a problem while you're applying your decal and you damage the decal and it can't be applied, just take some pictures of it, send the pictures to us with an explanation of what happened. We will replace your design for free You just pay the shipping.